Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry over at What Are You Doing with another wonderful guest, this time from a recent summit that I was at in Barcelona, Spain. Paula Echeverri, I am so glad to have you on.
Thank you so much, dear Ambassador Terry, to have me here. This is really a pleasure and an honor to be in your 5 minutes, interview. So I'm very pleased to be here.
Good, good, good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the famous question. Paula Echeverri, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm changing the world one step at a time, with neuroscience, with my books, and also, with what I do in spirituality too, because I had a little bit of a journey. I actually was, working in the Silicon Valley where all the big giants are. And I was consulting companies. I had a perfect life until one little challenge struck me, which is that I just became deaf. I lost my hearing. And after having my second daughter, and for no reason, pretty much because the doctors check on me, they check everything on my health, and I had no reason to be deaf. So I started, of course, I went through a lot of trouble because of that, trying to get back, my communication skills because I couldn't talk to people, not even my husband and my kids. I had two little kids at the time, and it was really hard because, when you lose a sense, that you have, like hearing or seeing or anything that you have, you take it for granted. When you lose something really strikes you like, why is this happening to me? And I was in the victim phase for a long time. Definitely the first year that I had this challenge, it was really hard. I was going through a lot of mental illness. I had anxiety and panic attacks all the time because I didn't know how to handle, these changes that happened with me on my life. So I definitely, one day I was at the emergency room with the doctor because I had a panic attack when I thought I was dying, really, because I felt I was having a heart attack. And the doctor said, Paula, it's no heart attack. Your heart is fine, your body's fine, everything is in your mind. So that day, it was a sentence for me. And it really sent me, and it, really opened my eyes. And I started saying, I'm not only deaf, but I'm also hurting my mind. I'm going also nuts. So I decided from that day on, just move on, get out of the emergency room and change my life. Start constructing, the new person that I was being, new person because I changed. And definitely that changed me. But all challenges come to your life to give you guidance and to give you a path, a new path that you have to take. So I pretty much in this moment, I really worked on my best version every day, and I accepted myself the way I am, which, it was hard in the beginning. And I think when I started loving myself again, when I started, believing in myself again, everything changed. So I started writing books. I wrote a book called Emerge because that was my process, was about emerging, from a challenge. And I did it with neuroscience because I started looking into what's happening in my mind. When I did that, I started going back to school. I started getting certified. I went to MIT, like you said, all of that. And I started seeing that the brain is so good for, giving you all these things that you can imagine. Because when you start thinking about negative things in your life, like for example, the challenge I had, I started thinking, nobody's going to love me. Now, what's going to happen with me? No, I can work this way. And all of that starts giving you, all these things that you start thinking more and more negativity every day. So I found myself in that, in that space for a long time. And when I started thinking about, starting to understand the brain and started to find the neurobiology and how the brain works, then that's how everything started to clear. And I started to understand what was going with me. So for me, I think education is key when you go through mental illness. to know what you're going through. So that really helped me to understand what was going on with me. And then when I started, I started doing different things. One of the things that really helped me was meditation. And meditation really opened my eyes and my mind and my heart, for many things. So that's one of the best things that I do right now. And like I tell everyone, in my life, I have a special power because now I can disconnect, take my hearing aids off, and I'm off. So that's actually a very, very special power that I have right now, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you've
So
got a
that
couple of great, great, great events coming up, ladies and gentlemen. This the 11th, you've got something going on, and then the 18th, you got something going on. And ladies and gentlemen, those links are down here in the comments afterwards. So reach out to this incredible person. See, I told you she was a what do you do in person. Paula, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much, Terry. It's a pleasure.
Bye bye for now. Let's talk thought leadership today.